The last Divisional Cup Finals before we get into an FNCS season has just concluded, and we got to see some big names absolutely dominate and some really crumble today as well. We're going to go over all of it in today's video. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys, and I think we're less than like 400 subs away from 120k, so sub up to the channel if you guys are new. If you guys want to support me even more, far and away the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. We shout out somebody every single video who deems me proof of them using my code, so shout out to this person on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much to everybody that showed up to the Twitch or the YouTube stream as well today for the finals. We're going to continue to stream all of the finals next season as well. Without further ado though, as we always do, we're going to start off on NA with the duo that finished in first place of the finals, winning back-to-back weeks, the only team on NA to win multiple Div Cup finals, of Peterbot and Poyo. 322 points for them, 2 out of 6 game wins, 24 total elims, an average placement of 11.17. Now this placement today wasn't as dominant as it was last week where they won 4 out of 6 matches, but they still got a 6 elim win, 11 elim second, and a 4 elim win. I think I saw a tweet that like 83% of their points came from 3 matches today, so they literally won this tournament in 3 games. Going into the last game of the day, they had almost a 100 point lead on the duo in second place, and so I want to talk more about what ended up happening between that in a little bit. But Peter and Poyo, man, what a conclusion to their season. For the first like 4 weeks of tournaments, pretty much everybody was saying that this is not going to be their year because they just couldn't get used to the brand new Surge. They finally ended up dropping their egos though, not thinking that they're better than the new Surge. They have fully adapted to it, playing the exact same playstyle that they ended up playing last week again today. I definitely do still want to see them have like a top 3 or a winning game off of them being on mid or low ground, because right now they're kind of a height or nothing team, but when they're probably the best team in the entire world at holding height, it's not like a strategy that we should be concerned about going into the future for them, and we have no clue what the meta is going to look like next season also, because I would definitely say we're in a little bit more difficult of a meta right now with the jetpacks, but Fortnite themselves have already said that we're going to get like a complete revamp to the loot pool and rotation items next season. We also got 2 hints from Fortnite Competitive as well today, and they announced that solo victory cups and 0 build tournaments are going to be returning next season. So let me know if you guys are hyped for those. I know a lot of people are hyped for 0 build tournaments back. I hope they're not an absolute cheater fest. Back to the Div Cup today though, I also ended up tweeting out that they have now won 6 out of the last 12 finals games on NA. They have won 50% of the games in the last 2 tournaments. Is this your guys' current favorites going into Major 1? My original early favorites at the beginning of the season was Acorn and Bolts. They split up. My new favorites were Cold and Rapid, but now after what I've seen from Peter and Poyo in back-to-back weeks, they might have to be the favorites now. It's crazy how much of a 180 this team has done from the beginning of the season until now. In game number 5, Peter also had a crazy solo clutch to basically put them in the position to be able to be so far ahead that even though they had a rough last game, it didn't matter because Poyo ended up dying out of the sky, and it was all down to Peter, and this is what he did in a 1v2 situation.
3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Corner. Oh, he's got him. Oh, I thought he had him caged.
And he does.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. 1v2 with the quickness, baby.
Now second place was Cold and Rapid on 301. This duo was conning Acorn and Kanata off spawn today. I'm pretty sure they only ended up fighting like 1 time, and Cold and Rapid ended up wiping them. They were pretty quiet in their first 2 games, getting a 0 elim 31st and a 3 elim 10th, but then they got a 10 elim 3rd, 1 elim 28th, 5 elim win, and in their last game of the day, I think they were in around 4th or 5th place going into it, and instead of deciding to land on Peter and Poyo, they decided to land on 2nd place of Josh and Iamzo.
What? No.
Wait, what just happened?
No.
Taking him out there.
So sweet.
Rapid's leaving a POI to get a better placement.
Yamzo went on to just like absolutely crash out on them on Twitter. And at first I didn't really understand this play because I was like, if you're gonna go for a winning cash cup play, why not just land on Peterbot and Pollo? But then they were just gonna try to land on second place, take them out, and then hope that Peter and Pollo did bad. And Peter and Pollo did end up doing bad. And if Cold and Rapid won the last game of the day, they would have had a real chance to be able to most likely win this Div Cup finals, which is just insane considering the fact that they were contested off spawn every single game. I'm honestly really happy for Cold. He's been one of the players that's been getting slandered the most as of late. We really had people start to say that Cold was the problem in the duo after him and Rapid struggled last week, but now they're able to finish top 2, almost win the finals. And I mean, Cold and Rapid and Peter and Pollo are really going back and forth in both EWC, and I think they're going to in BR now as well. Third place, super underrated duo of Scare and Osid on 284. They also had a chance to be able to win this cash cup all the way up until the end. Huge congratulations to them. Fourth place was Josh and Yamzo on 282. This is exactly where I ended up predicting them to finish. They didn't have a single game outside of the top 10 until their last game of the day, where they ended up dying off spawn, and you could tell they were not prepared at all to be contested. They did not think that was going to happen. And this probably would have been a second or third place finish for Josh and Yamzo if they didn't get conned. And then fifth place was Cooper and Curly on 268. This is one of the duos that's been having one of the most rough seasons. Cooper and Curly before today got a 4th, 20th, and 14th place. They were one of my main teams on Split Watch, and they ended up top 5ing. Sixth place was Curve and Vino on 264. Now, don't let this placement kind of like fool you right here. These guys were absolutely going through it today. Going into the last game of the day, they were top 3 on the leaderboard as well, with a real chance to be able to win the tournament, and they ended up dying off spawn to Dragon RG. Yes, the same Dragon RG that pretty much ended the Acorn and Bolts duo. In the games that Curve and Vino were able to make it off spawn, though, they got a 6 elim 8th, 3 elim 16th, 5 elim 3rd, and an 11 elim 2nd. This to me is probably either the 3rd, maybe even the 2nd best duo on NA. We can make all the shoulda, coulda, woulda discussions at the end of the day, but a 6th place is a 6th place. I still think it's very solid, and I'm still high on this duo. It's definitely going to be the duo to probably look out for the most, though. And how much does Vino really believe in Curve? Because we have FNCS starting in like 3 weeks from today. Is this the teammate that Vino is most confident in going into that? 7th place, I think they should stick together, to be honest. 7th place was Bolts and Rise on 258 in their first Div Cup finals together. Another one of the duos that we're going to have to look out for a lot in terms of potentially splitting. 8th place of Re and Javi on 241. Very good improvement from their first finals. 9th place was Noxie and Mason. And then 10th place to me was probably the most disappointing team of the day of Agers and Ritual on 210. This was their worst performance of the season because before that they got 1st, 7th, 2nd, 3rd, and 3rd. So they did top 10 in all 6 Div Cups this season, but they didn't have a single top 9 finish today, and they were fully uncontested every single game. I don't really fully know what went wrong for them, but this is not the placement that I've come to expect out of them for sure. I still think they're a top 3 duo in the region. I'm not just gonna let one tournament completely change my opinion on them, but I expected so much more out of the team I predicted to win today. 11th place was Muzz and Sphinx on 194. Now Muzz did end up DMing me. Please make sure to state in your video tonight that for the first 4 games our loot was getting stolen, so we griefed our game to grief them. Thank you, K-Dog. So yeah, I mean, they had a solid first 4 games, and then in their last 2 games, as Muzz said, he was just trying to show the kids that were griefing him a lesson. This duo's won a Div Cup this season, placed top 7 in another one. I'm excited to see what they can do in the next. Visuals in Braids, honestly, the first time I feel like I've talked about them in 13th place. They got a 6 elim win and a 5 elim 5th. And then a duo that I've also seen a lot of people saying was the most disappointing team of the day was 15th place of Clicks in Higgs on 181. They won 1 out of their 6 matches, winning game number 2 with a 6 elim win. Besides that, they only got 1 other top 10, 2 elim 8th for them. The consistency is just not here for this duo at all. I talked about it in the last video when we were going over the eval finals, but this to me is probably the team that is most excited for the jetpacks hopefully being removed next season. They're just not a good jetpack team. Plain and simple, cut and dry. That's just what it is at the end of the day. There's no consistency for them right now. I don't feel like this placement of 15th is necessarily an accurate representation of them. I don't feel like they're the 15th best duo on NA, but their placements this season now are 2nd, 23rd, 8th, 4th, and 15th. giving them an average placement of 10.4 in Div Cup finals this season. As always, after a rough performance from them, we're hearing people say that they should split. I don't think they're gonna split. I don't necessarily think they should split either. I don't really know what better teammates either of them would be able to get. They got a 2nd and a 4th place this season, so I don't want to say it's like a full dud. We have to keep in mind this is also Higgs's first season with Div Cups that he's fully IGLing in, so I'm definitely willing to give them some time. We did see some really rough moments from them though, and I feel like this one play really summed up their tournament. No, Click's season. Click's 100% season. Why did Clicks just 50-50 that? Why are we 50-50ing that if we know they're both right there?
On me, looking, look at me.
I'll take.
Fuck, dude.
Why would you?
Sell on me.
Acorn and Kanata finished in 22nd place. Probably have to be one of the other main teams that is on split watch right now. They were calmed off spawn every game, like I said earlier though, and only ended up fighting 1 game off spawn versus Cold and Rapid, and they did lose that game. They only had 1 top 15 performance all day, which was a 7 elim 3rd place for them, and they looked absolutely insane in this game, specifically Kanata. Kanata left alive as a solo. Acorn goes down. Kanata with 19 builds. Gotta show Acorn why he shouldn't drop him here now. Slowly running out of mats, needs a big refresh if he wants to try to top 5 this game as a solo. Oh, that could be where he finds it though. 200 pump for Max Nada. Double 200 pump for Max Nada. Oh my gosh, Kanata. 3 straight 1 pumps. Mythic pump Max Nada. But yeah, I haven't really been the highest on this duo since they formed together. Still not necessarily the highest on them. Interested to see what the decision is from them going into next season. Shadow and Virgo in 30th, Threats in Veer in 31st, Booga and Craze in 33rd. Only 80 points for them in 6 matches. Do we think this duo is going to stick together going into next season? I don't know. I would honestly like to see Booga and Threats team up. Oliver OG and Carillion in 34th. And then Noah W plays in 46th. And Blake and Salt in 48th. Moving over to the final player stats here now. Rapid actually finished with the most elims in this tournament. 17 total elims for him, while Vino finished with the most damage, getting 5,400. Bolts finished with the 2nd most elims. Curly in 3rd. Peter in 4th. Vino in 5th. Clicks in 6th. Curve in 7th. Javi in 8th. Ritual in 9th. Scare in 10th. Where in the world is Cold at? Cold finished in 17th with 9 elims. Wow. Crazy day for Rapid, man. Peter 2nd damage, Curve in 3rd. And then for the final team stats, Cold and Rapid with the most total elims together with 26. Curve and Vino in 2nd. Peter and Pollo in 3rd. Arguably the 3 best teams on all of NA right now with Aegis and Ritual. I mean, this is probably just the 4 best teams on NA right now. Peter and Pollo were the only team to win multiple games. NA was super fun to watch. Let's actually move on now to how EU ended up going. Now for the last EU Div Cup finals, I can't lie, this was a fun watch, and the duo that ended up taking home the win, finishing off the season with a bang, Vico and Malabuka finished in 1st place, 345 points for them, 1 out of 6 game wins, 31 total elims as well, which was the 2nd most elims in this entire tournament, only behind Shark and Teeny. Vico and Malabuka were also the most consistent team of the day, getting an average placement of 9.8. Their best games of the day were a 9 elim 3rd, 6 elim 7th, 8 elim win, and a 3 elim 8th. If you weren't watching at the beginning of the season, Vico and Malabuka, I think for the first like 3 weeks, I was saying they were the most disappointing team on EU up until that point. They were struggling in EWC. They couldn't even like top 15 Div Cups. And now their placements in the last 4 Div Cup finals are 2nd, 12th, and 1st place. I know this is going to be a huge vibes type of duo because that's just the type of player that Vico is, and the vibes have to be so high on them right now going into next season. So happy for these guys. 2nd place is Sky and Scroll on 313, 1 out of 6 game wins, 24 total elims for them. This duo had a real chance like halfway through the tournament to be able to win this Div Cup finals, and it would have given them their 3rd Div Cup finals win of the season. They still though finished their placements this season with a 1st, 6th, 7th, 1st, and 2nd place. So in 6 Div Cup finals, they finished top 7 in every single one of them. And they are the only duo to be able to do that on all of EU. I think this has to be a top 3, maybe even higher duo in your rankings going into next season. 3rd place was Shark and Teeny on 293, 1 out of 6 game wins, 32 total elims, which like I talked about earlier, was the most elims in the entire finals. Now this duo was supposed to be running back the off spawn this week versus Huddy and Fishy, but then Huddy decided to like play a LAN event or something, and then he just decided not to queue up for the div finals, and like even then Fishy went on to tweet out looking for duo. So Shark and TD ended up being fully uncontested today, and their best games were a 4 elim 6th, a 13 elim win, which came off the back of one of the craziest solo clutches of the season from Shark, and then they got a 7 elim 5th in their last game of the day. So not like the craziest consistency, and their big game, like I was saying, came off the back of Shark having the craziest solo clutch of the season. That is now this duo's 4th top 3 of the season. I think to me they're still probably the best team on all of EU. I feel like the leaderboard of Vico, Malibuca, Sky and Scroll, and Shark and Teeny are like the 3 best teams on all of EU right now, and then you can make an argument for like the 4th and below range. But Shark and Teeny, insane performance out of them. I think a lot of people will agree that this is a team that is probably going to win an FNCS this year. 4th place is a duo that I just don't know how to feel about, of Chap and Flixie on 265. 1 out of 6 game wins, 20 total elims for them. I feel like this duo in me's relationship is like a toxic ex that I tried to leave in the past, move on to something else, but now they're just trying to creep back into my life, and I don't know how to feel about them, you know? Like Chap and Flixie, at the beginning of this season, I said that they were my early Major 1 prediction winners. They've then been one of the most inconsistent teams of the entire season. They only had 1 top 10 finish in all of the div cups before today that they ended up getting 4th place in. They were a team that was on my split watch if they ended up struggling today, and I mean, a 4th place is really solid. 1 win in 1 second place. Let me know what you guys think about Chap and Flixie down below, because I am really conflicted on them right now. 5th place is Swizzy and Pixie on 262. I feel like they haven't been a team that's like been competing for wins really that much, but they are a team that's just constantly in that like top 8 range. 6th place was Akira and Karama. 7th place was Focus and Thomas on 230. So now a 10th and a 7th place in back-to-back weeks after winning the week before that have been a little bit underwhelming, but I'm not going to act like a top 7 finished placement on EU is a bad thing. 8th place was Hyper and Jewel. 9th place was As It Go, and then 10th place was actually Cringe and Twy. Now Cringe and Twy were the duo that were contesting Mr. Savage off spawn. Cringe is Velo's old teammate, and if you guys are wondering how the off spawn fight ended up going, Savage and Velo ended up beating them 3-2 off spawn, and then they split one other game. But still, Cringe and Twy in the 2 games that they ended up winning got a 5th and a 2nd place. So I still want to give credit where it's due. They pretty much top 10'd in like 3 matches max. For the rest of the leaderboard, we had 20th place of Chino and Pablo. These guys are literally conned in like every single finals this season, and not just single conned. Most of the time they're literally double conned as well. I mean, that drop spot that they're currently going at is probably going to continue to be contested next season, though. I still think they're a very good duo. 22nd place was Ping and Hris on 132. Mr. Savage and Velo finished in 24th place today. Pretty much got this placement off of only 2 good games, with a 4 elim 8th and a 6 elim 7th, their last 2 games of the day. They started off the tournament losing both of their first 2 off spawns, and then won every single one after that and split one of them. I think it did show good resilience for them to not just like fully give up. Savage, even after game 2, was talking about just landing on Shark and Teeny. They didn't end up doing that. They continued committing to the off spawn fight, and Velo was playing insane in those off spawns as well.
Alright, I'm going bottom then. I'm going bottom backside. One's on me. One's bottom. One on top. I'm on top. I'm getting chest. I have an MK.
I'm out. I'm spending time.
40 white. I'm coming to you.
Get the kill, steal the kill.
I can't.
Dead fucking pussies, bro. Run shit. Oh no, I'm
Interested to see how this duo is going to decide where they want to land next season. Haven't necessarily had the craziest performances in finals yet, but it's good that they are getting the experience together at least. 28th place of iDrop and Marius in their first fully uncontested Div Cup finals of the season. This team has been getting conned by Cammy and Hari basically all season, and this week they were finally unconned, and they did basically nothing with it. They got 1 top 10 with an 8 elim 9th in their last game of the day. I feel like this has been one of the most disappointing teams of all of Chapter 7 on EU especially. I personally think that they should probably split up, but I'm interested to see what they decide to do. SETI and Rax finished in 31st place. Unfortunately, we're not able to load into their first game of the day, and then they were contested in all their other matches. But then that was about it for all of the big names on EU. Moving over to the final player stats here, Shark finished with the most elims, getting 22. This is honestly finally what I wanted to see out of this duo, just leading elim categories like I know they can. Dominated the damage category as well, 6,668. Second most was Jewel, a little bit of surprising one with 17. Malibuka in third, Vico in fourth, Flixie in fifth, Combeck in sixth, Pixie in seventh, Scroll in eighth, Twy in ninth, and then Akira in 10th. And then for the final team stats, Shark continued the most elims, Vico, Malibuka in second, Sky and Scroll in third. No team won multiple games on EU. Other than that though, the Div Cups are over for season 1. Let me know your guys' favorite moment from this season in the comment section down below. We have one tournament left tomorrow with the Solo Victory Cup. Of course, I'll be making some content for that as well. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss any of the future content. We're going to be going over all of the brand new season leaks, ranking some of the best duos on the region, and so much more. YouTube says under me, please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says under when these two videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.